There's a big question a lot of the time in working in this field is, how do you not take your work home? And quite literally, my home is my work now. There is zero distinction, and it is hard to turn it off. What I miss most about my job is that direct connection, the face-to-face time with our clients. It's not easy to build relationships with all of your clients and with students, especially with really traumatic backgrounds. And once those connections are made and the relationships are there, to suddenly lose it, I still worry about my clients. I still think about that. I wonder how they're doing. Oh my gosh, I had no idea I was gonna get emotional today. I think that we had made so much progress in, having these resources for families and students that just didn't normally have these resources available to them. And unfortunately, we lost lots of contact with a lot of our clients, and some of which I've never spoken to again since they went home. That was really hard. Where the majority of the work came from in the past was, how do we reach hard to reach families? And largely the answers are through schools. There is definitely a glimmer of hope. I do think that there are really good things to come this year. And I think once everybody's comfortable meeting in person again, it's going to be great. I think it's only going to continue to get better as the year goes on.
We know kids need to be in school, not just for their classroom interactions, not just to see their friends, but schools, if they really focus on being supportive environments, have people like Susan there and who are there for kids when they need them. And so I really look forward to the time when all kids can get back to school, and hopefully there are Susans that are there for them, and I know that kids will be better off because of it.
This past year has been a roller coaster, you could say. That's challenging, but also hopeful. But it's interesting, they have never seemed to feel any fear of the sickness. That's what they call it, the sickness themselves. Maybe it's because we've been pretty clear all along, we're not as worried about you guys. We're trying to keep Granny safe. We've all put it in terms of keeping Granny safe. There are things about COVID that are reminded me of the early postpartum period because you're stuck at home. There's an initial hurdle, I think, to ever admitting mental weakness or feeling like you need help. I had to get over it for the postpartum stuff when I was in over my head, I needed help. And there's definitely something about just knowing there's a floor, knowing there's a number you can call, knowing that people have your back, that just keeps it from ever getting so huge. And so I do think I haven't gotten to a mental health crisis point during this year, but I might have if I didn't already have all of that in place. Yeah, so they're going to go into kindergarten in the fall. I don't even know how to put into words what feisty little ladies they are. And even the other day, I picked them up from school, and their teacher was like, "They're ready for kindergarten. They're getting bored. We need to get them out of here."
Before COVID hit, we knew that kids and families were strong and resilient, particularly if they had the services and systems in place to support them. So what we've been fighting for this year, like every year, is to make sure that kids and families get the support they need. Sometimes this year it's been through telehealth, sometimes it's been through other kinds of supports, but that's what we're fighting for, and we're seeing some progress, so we're very, very pleased.
She really didn't understand in the beginning what was going on. and why we had to cancel school and why she couldn't go see her cousins and her grandma anymore. I think it hit me the hardest when one of her friends from Miss Sandy's class called her and they were FaceTiming, and I felt terrible watching them. They were playing Barbies through the phone. She felt really sad after she hung up that day, and I felt really sad for her. It was hard to watch that. I was so glad whenever they allowed some kids to go back to school. Having that interaction with her friends and having that interaction with her teacher, that's really what helped her become the person that she is. She loves being able to show her teachers what she's done and what she's learned. I feel like I'm a pretty resilient person, especially through everything that we were put through. It was a very overwhelming year. I don't think I'll ever forget it.
There's no question that this is a tough year for advocates working at the Capitol. Hardly anybody in the building, trying to communicate with our community partners. But the good news is we're making huge progress, and I'm really proud of my team and all our partners. A lot of the work we're doing is sort of reacting to COVID and reacting to crisis. And what we're going to need going forward is, bolder action, bolder proposals. Kids and families need a lot of support in Texas. And the only way we're going to accomplish that is to coordinate those efforts together and fight together. And I'm just feel so grateful that all of you are by our side and that we're working together for kids.